And here we come with another thrilling episode of 3D Printing the Miniature Universe with Papa Jester. Alright, let's get into another episode. Hi! Good to see you again. So, today I'd like to start off with something cool. Today, I'd like to thank my first sponsor. Yeah! The Gulf Coast Renaissance Fair. Yes, the Gulf Coast Renaissance Fair in Milton, Florida. Whew. March 6th and 7th. I know. Let's go to the commercial.
Gulf Coast Renaissance Wild West Pirate and History Fest, March 6 and 7. See jousting knights, pirates, cowboy gunslingers, Civil War and World War II soldiers, and much more. $10 adults, $5 child. Info, gcrf.us. Get historical!
Hi, once again. Papa Jester. Working on his machine, as you can hear. So, I was thinking, what can I do today for a video for my channel? And I thought of it. Oh yeah, I thought of it. But first off, I'd like to thank yet another subscriber. If this keeps up, I might actually break 100 by the end of the year. But no, it astounds me every time I turn on my YouTube studio and find out that I've got another subscriber. And I'm like, that is awesome. Hell yeah, I love it. I love it. Alright, so, on to the subject of this. Over the years, I have been trying to find alternative PLA that's cheap to the standard brand that I normally get, which is the Evertrue. I love this stuff. I don't have problems with it. It's always on point. It is always the correct size. It never has bubbles. I have never gotten a jam from it. And the only time I have is when my nozzle is so messed up, it's caked inside, completely filled, and the nozzle's all wonky because of, well, stuff. But it is like, it really depends on supply sometimes. I usually buy from Amazon, and it's between, if I can find a deal on it, about $22. If I can't find a deal on it, and for some reason they just haven't shipped a lot, or just there's a problem with transportation, or the factory's underproducing, or something, it can be as high as $25. There are other brands that I've seen listed on Amazon, and I tried one, I think it was Toshiba, or no, that's, well, it started with a T, it's been a while and I can't remember, but it was horrible. It stunk. It had a horrible burnt petroleum smell to it, and it was filled with garbage. It was from some Chinese manufacturer, and it was just disgusting. So then I decided I would try other stuff. Well, the latest stuff that I have tried is Matchbox PLA. Now, I got a great deal on this. I got this from Amazon, and I got 6 of these for the price of 3. It was an awesome deal. It was the only time I've ever seen it on Amazon, and I was like, Heck yeah. And it was only $19 a spool. I was like, yeah, I can save money. You know, I watched other reviewers online, said, hey, some good stuff. It's pretty good. It measures up. It heats around 100 and 110. Bullshit. I've tried it at 110 and gotten nothing but crap out of it. I have run one spool through my machine and had to replace my nozzles twice on one spool. I constantly have under extrusion problems anytime I try to use the stuff. And to make matters worse, this morning I had to switch out because I'm in the middle of printing up a order for a customer. And I'm working on this stuff. You know what this is? This is a new, it would have been, custom back piece for the Shadow Sword super heavy tank. Let me show you what the underside looks like. That's what it looks like. That was the first layer. That was horrible. As you can see, down by the swirls, let's see, down, you can just barely make it out. Down by the swirls here, where the pipes are starting to come out, under extrusion. That's constant with that. It is absolutely constant. Here's another piece. Now normally, your bottom layer is going to look awesome. You slow down your machine, you put it down, you make sure that it's a good solid base to work from. Matchbox. Separation issues right off the bat. Under extrusion right off the bat. Now, I want to show you the kind of results I get when I use Evertrue. Here we go. Look at that. Yeah. Now, what you may not notice is there are still fine lines going across the top here. But I usually take that down with a little bit of sanding paper, and it comes out rather smooth. And my machine always has problems under extruding on circles. I've tried hundreds of different ways of correcting it, but for some reason a TiVo Tornado has problems with circles. Look at this. Yeah, and this is all Evertrue PLA. Now, you're saying, well, they look kind of the same. I have some finished parts from the Matchbox. As soon as I find them. I think they're in this one. Another thing I like about PLA, Overtrue PLA, I can reuse their boxes for shipping. There's just enough room in them to fit 90% of the stuff I ship. Matchbox, not so much. Like, I had one person request a 3D printed Bane blade. because they wanted to make the, what's it called? Well, I don't really know the name of it, but it's a kit-bashed Bane blade for Chaos. It has the big skull tower on it and these really cool weapons, but you need a Bane blade as the base kit. And I don't know about you, but I like to kit bash stuff. However, putting $100 down for a base to kit bash when all you need from the Bane blade is the tracks, the side armor, the sponsons, and the main body. Everything else goes into your bits box. That's a lot to spend on, a major component. True, but still, I personally, unless I had an old one that had been torn up or I wasn't using anymore, then yeah, I'd kit bash that. But, not all of us have oodles of money to spend. I mean, back in the day when I was working at Tom Thumb during the day and DJing at what's the backseat? No, backseat. Oh, what a dive. Arides. I was DJing nights at Arides, one of our local adult entertainment bars. And I had money to spend. I was making, at the time, this was back in the early, 2001, from a day job, I was making about $137 a week after taxes. And my night job, I was making, for a weekday night, about $400 to $500 a day. I had money to burn. So, building armies was like, it was just something to do to keep me from being bored when I had days off. I built my first Orc army, my first Imperial Guard army. I was working on Necrons. I had Marines all over the place. Never even played them, but I had Ultramarine chapter. Well, not the Ultramarine chapter, but Ultramarine army. I did up Salamanders, Blood Angels. I even did one up that I called I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, but I called it the Seventh Reich. The story behind it was that they were ultra supremacists, racial supremacists. Like, if you weren't pure-blooded human, like no defects whatsoever, you weren't good enough. They'd kill you on the spot. And the story behind it was that they were so much of an extremist, human-centric, racist group that the Emperor said, "Yo, get out! Love you guys. Love the way you kill the Xenos. But, you can't come back to the human empire and go, hey, you weren't born on Terra. You can't trace your bloodline back to Terra. You're dead. You're not a pure human. You guys gotta go. We're striking your chapter. You gotta go." So I made a whole big-ass backstory. Yeah. Get to nowadays, and I played that army once at my local store, and some alt-right SJW just had a fit. Tore into me, said, "Now I gotta explain to my kids what the Seventh Reich is, what the Nazi army was." blah, blah, blah. I'm like, does your kid take history in school? I'm pretty sure he's going to find out. Does he have his own cell phone and looks on YouTube? I'm sure he's going to find out what exactly they were. So, I had to change them. I kept the Seventh Reich idea. I got rid of the schwa stickers that I had on them. And I went with the one of the werewolf units. The I forget exactly what they were called, but they were the Hitler Youth units. They had the black flag with the single lightning bolt and a number in a white square at the top right hand corner. Anyways, started doing them like that. So, no more complaints about schwastikas. Because apparently you can't have that in 40K. Yet if you play bolt action, that's perfectly acceptable. Because it's historical. I'm like, we're playing a fantasy game. Especially since these Marines fell to chaos. They're supposed to be, like, evil. It's chaos. Hello. Take your lore into consideration. So anyways, yeah, I had money to burn. So of course, if I want to kit pass something, I just bought all the parts and said, here's an orky thing. Oh my god, you used the Lehman Rust to make an orc-looted tank? Yes. Yes, I did. Why would you do that? Because I can. Used to piss off Imperial Guard players. Like, oh, you mangled it, Lehman Rust. No. So, I printed up the Baneblade for this customer so he could make the demon-possessed Chaos Baneblade. It looks awesome. You gotta look it up. The tower's just like all kinds of skulls, and then there's like piles of skulls around it, covering like the turret area and most of the body. It's beautiful. I so want to do one. I forgot where I was going with this. Anyways, now I remember. Now I got it. See, that's what happens, kids. When you do stuff you shouldn't, and it's been years, you easily forget stuff. Or I'm just getting old and forgetful. Nope. I'm going to live on the river of self-denial. I've been doing the wrong things. My memory's as sharp as a tack. So anyways, Matchbox shipping boxes don't fit the body of the Baneblade. Just would not fit in the box. So I'm like, well, man, I can't reuse this for most of the stuff that I make. Because most of the stuff I make is about that same size. Alright, so I found the other piece. Now this is the completed piece of Matchbox. Now, I looked at the top here. The top is passable. Even though it looks like there should be problems with it, there's really not. But if you notice in this part here, the swoosh, it is under extruded. So painting this would be a kind of problem. Unless you just want to keep this color. But on the underside, I get this stuff again. And what's worse is the first layer. This is pretty much what I keep getting every time I use Matchbox. Temperature. No. Let's go on to temperature. I have enough of complaining about this crap. Temperature-wise, this stuff says it should be workable between 180 and 210. That's not even close to being true. 210 is the lowest the stuff will work at. To normally get this stuff to work, I have to go to 230 to 235 to get it to work. And even then, it doesn't work right. Like I was saying, just today, I put a new spool on of Matchbox. And it started coming out, I can always tell when my nozzle needs to be replaced because it, kind of spurts it out real thin in place, and then there's a glob here. It means that 0.4 millimeter hole, or 0.04 millimeter, or 0.4 millimeter hole, whatever, has got nicks in it, and it's no longer the correct size. So you have to replace it. I haven't had any problems with that. The nozzle had maybe at most 16 hours of work on it. And it started doing that. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, gotta back it off and replace it. I replaced the nozzle. Rethreaded everything. Reloaded it. Went to go print again. An hour and a half into the print of a 3.5 hour print, it's barely at 0.8 layers. It stops. It just stops feeding. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just stops feeding. I checked everything. I thought my pusher motor might be out. I thought there might be a clog in the line. I thought everything. I snaked the nozzle, cleared it, nothing. Not a damn thing. And so I replaced the nozzle. Figuring, whatever. When I pulled the nozzle out, I heated up the nozzle to 220 so I could detach. I know, words. I really hate to use them. So I could pull back out the line. When I got the head off, so what had happened is that line didn't come out of the head. It had broken off just behind the head, and that's what I got out. The other part of it was stuck in the nozzle. Just stuck there. So I replaced the nozzle. Put a fresh one on. Thread it back in. Start up the print again. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It starts working perfectly. For an hour. And then just stops. Doesn't feed. Doesn't do nothing. Nothing else is wrong. So I'm like, well, it can't be that I gotta replace a nozzle this soon. So I back the line out again. And I put EverTrue back in. Heat up the head to around 250 so I can really liquefy whatever gunk might be in there. This was part of my smush. Up here, this was apparently the only thing that was stuck in the nozzle. And then I get EverTrue. And as you can hear, the machine's running. It's been running. As you can see, it's coming out just fine. So, in conclusion, Matchbox, my personal opinion, don't waste your time. You may have different successes with it, you may not. But my personal experience, trying it time and time again, this is a comparison that has taken me over a year to do. I have tried everything I know to get Matchbox to work in my machine. I have tried every temperature to get Matchbox to flow properly. I have tried every different configuration of my settings to try to compensate for the under extrusion problems that it constantly throws at me. I have tried everything. And I've come to my conclusion. If I could get a refund from Amazon on this crap, I'd ship the entire box back. Everything. I have bought 6 spools of it. I have used 3. And most of that has been in the garbage because it keeps producing crap-ass parts. So, there you go. Ever true? Never had a problem with you. If I could ever ask for a sponsor, I would love to do a spot for Ever True. I think everybody should know how good the stuff is. It's a moderate priced, good quality PLA. Their PETG is awesome. I am looking forward to trying other materials that they make. I am looking into just ordering straight from the company. You know, whatever. Probably can't because I think they're another Chinese company and I don't want to pay import costs. But, yeah. For something that's not overpriced and is not cheap as dirt, but right there in the middle, I can't recommend anything better than Evertrue. Their temperature readings. Let me see, what are the temperature readings? 190 to 220. They're true. They are spot on. That's the temperature that PLA needs to run at and works just fine. Currently, I am running it at 215. It's the perfect temperature for my machine to work just fine with Evertrue. Alright, so I think that's all I've got to say about Matchbox. I really want to say a lot of hateful things about them because I really don't care for their product. Maybe in a different machine it might work better. But I support TiVo. They're a good company. They made a good machine. Yes, it is a CR10 knockoff. But you know what? It's a damn good knockoff. The only complaint I have ever had with this machine is that the port for the SD card has come loose. Or is not reading right because I'm having problems when I'm slotting the card. Now, I could just plug it back up to my computer, but I don't always keep my computer on the entire time I'm printing, so I did find something to correct the problem. There's a part I can order so I can slide in a card and permanently leave it in there and have another adapter port glued to the outside that I can use, that I can replace if necessary, if it ever wears out. So I will be putting that in my order list for next time. And like I said before, I know I repeat myself, but that's all I got to say about Matchbox. Because everything else I want to say is just a bunch of curse words and a flying fit about how I do not like Matchbox. And how I really hate it because it causes me to go through nozzles 100 times faster than using anything else. Alright, so remember, as always, this is a hobby. Whether you do it for a business to make a little bit of cash on the side, or you just do it because you love it. Because you like making Baby Yodas. I miss Grogu. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Remember to print what you want. Print whatever you like. Most of all, enjoy your 3D printing. All right. Love y'all. Have fun. Oh. And if you're in the Milton area, check this.
Gulf Coast Renaissance Wild West Pirate and History Fest, March 6 and 7. See jousting knights, pirates, cowboy gunslingers, Civil War and World War II soldiers, and much more. $10 adults, $5 child. Info, gcrf.us. Get historical!
Alright, thanks for watching. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Comment on things you like to talk about. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Give me your input. I'd love to hear it. Also, don't forget to check me out on Facebook at 3D Printing the Miniature Universe with Papa Jester. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes of 3D Printing the Miniature Universe with Papa Jester. Hey, y'all. You have a good night.